Good evening, everyone.
Welcome to Weekend Update. I'm Michael Che.
I'm Colin Jost. According to a senior official, President Trump keeps a letter in the Resolute desk addressed to Vice President J.D. Vance in the event he dies or is assassinated. The letter reads simply, "I wish it had been you."
Vice President J.D. Vance criticized protesters confronting ICE officers, saying they should instead write an op-ed or argue about it on social media. You know, just like these young scholars did on January 6th. I get that ICE agents are people, allegedly, and they have a job to do. But at some point, while you're pepper spraying old ladies or shooting at a nurse, do you ever stop and ask yourself, are we dicks?
King Charles visited the U.S. to mark the 250th anniversary of American independence from Britain and to seek the release of a British hostage being held by an American terrorist.
President Trump posted plans for his presidential library in Miami, which would be a massive golden skyscraper with a golden escalator and a golden statue of Trump, as predicted in the book of Revelations. President Trump attended the opening night of Chicago at the Kennedy Center, and I think that's cool that the president is going to the theater. I mean, what's the worst that could happen?
Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr., seen here back from his mission to the sun, said he's recovering from rotator cuff surgery on his shoulder. Well, look who needs me now, said Tylenol.
Cole Thomas Allen, the alleged Correspondents' Dinner shooter, took this selfie in his hotel room shortly before his assassination attempt, which he captioned, "Felt cute, might delete president." This week, King Charles visited the U.S. and met Zohran Mamdani. And I'm surprised he didn't take Mamdani back to England with him because he is an Indian treasure.
Oh, no. A top FEMA official revealed in an interview that he once mysteriously teleported to a Waffle House 50 miles away, which is a phenomenon better known as drunk driving.
First Lady Melania Trump made a rare public statement to deny reports that Jeffrey Epstein introduced her to Donald Trump, because they actually met when Trump cracked open her shipping container. On Friday, the Artemis II astronauts returned safely from their 10-day trip around the Hollywood soundstage.
President Trump has spent so much time stalking Greenland like an absolute psycho. He's basically become a guy on a dating app. He's like, "Hey, Greenland, you look so good." And Greenland's like, "Haha, thanks." And Trump's like, "Seriously, I need you. I'd literally give $700 billion to be with you." And Greenland's like, "Look, not trying to be mean, but I'm not interested." And Trump's like, "I'll kill you, you ugly bitch."
Donald Trump announced that he will attend the White House Correspondents' Dinner, which will be hosted by famous mind reader Oz Perlman. Big deal. Even I can read Trump's mind. Dementia. He wanted more out of that. The Justice Department has formed a task force intended to eradicate anti-Christian bias, which hopefully works better than the church's strategy of molesting it out of you.
King Charles also presented President Trump with the original bell from a British submarine and said, "Should you ever need to get a hold of us, just give us a ring." Or Trump could just call the guy saved in his phone as Andrew Island.
After reaching orbit, Artemis II astronaut Victor Glover sent a message back to Earth saying, "Trust us, you look amazing. You look beautiful." Yeah, leave it to the black astronaut to catcall the entire planet.
During the mission, the crew of Artemis II sent back pictures of the rarely seen dark side of the moon, revealing that the moon has a rat tail.
Legal experts are saying that this week's Supreme Court ruling has taken a wrecking ball to the Voting Rights Act of 1965. But if you ask black people, it felt more like a fire hose. President Trump met with the Artemis II astronauts in the Oval Office and told them, "I like space," which is actually a direct quote from Melania's wedding vows.
JD Vance is releasing a book about his conversion to Catholicism. The Catholic Church is calling it somehow the worst publicity we've ever had.
The bill ending the government shutdown will fund SNAP through next September, and thank God, because I was this close to donating food. President Trump attended a Washington Commanders game on Sunday, and I guess he hasn't been to one in a while because he showed up in Redskin.
Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth seen here right after the bartender cut him off. Testified before Congress where he revealed that the current estimate for the war in Iran is $25 billion a gallon. Also, how has the war already cost $25 billion? What are we bombing them with? White House ballrooms?
In his speech, President Trump referred to the war in Iran as a little journey because little journeys are all anyone can afford to take now. President Trump said in his speech that the Strait of Hormuz would open up naturally, but if it doesn't, the Marines will deploy a little bit of spit.
Before the talks fell apart, President Trump warned Iran about making any more demands, saying the Iranians don't seem to realize they have no cards. They're literally holding us straight.
A federal appeals court has restricted abortion access by blocking the mailing of a popular abortion drug. But just remember, any drug can be an abortion drug if you do it enough. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth, seen here demoting a black general, said this week that an airman told him the only thing they need in Iran is bigger bombs. Got you covered. How about Kristi Noem's husband?
Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr., who is what happens if you leave Walton Goggins in an air fryer.
That's fun.
Said that he will challenge Dunkin' Donuts to prove that their sugary drinks are safe. You know what that means? A push-up contest with Ben Affleck. Yeah, don't one guy clap. The U.S. State Department is introducing a special edition passport that features an image of Donald Trump. So you'll always carry a reminder of why you fled the country. Also, I love that the picture of Trump is apparently burning a hole in the Declaration of Independence.
After reaching orbit, Artemis II astronaut Victor Glover sent a message back to Earth saying, "Trust us, you look amazing. You look beautiful." Yeah, leave it to the black astronaut to catcall the entire planet.
President Trump's State of the Union address this week was the longest in history, lasting almost 2 full diapers. During the State of the Union address, President Trump said, "Our nation is back, bigger, better, and stronger than ever before. Same," said the measles.
A homeless man in Florida was arrested after trespassing on a yacht and saying that he was holding it for his friend, President Trump, as well as making other unbelievable claims like, "I was mayor of New York City." That was my impression of Kate doing it.
DHS Secretary Kristi Noem testified before Congress where protesters interrupted her by shouting the line, "The power of Christ compels you," from The Exorcist. Noem mostly ignored them, but did take one quick look back.
A school board in New Jersey is considering a proposal to rename an elementary school after President Trump. Named Trump Elementary, home of the fighting allegations. Native Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez said she thinks it's possible America has already had a gay president. And here's a guess, maybe it's the one obsessed with ballrooms and the Village People.
The movie Michael earned $97 million in its opening weekend, which was the most a music biopic has ever grossed. But it didn't even crack the top 10 grossest weekends involving Michael Jackson.
Last week, President Trump hosted multiple events at the Kennedy Center, including an award ceremony for Sylvester Stallone, Gloria Gaynor, and rock band Kiss, as well as a musical performance by the Village People, which raises the question, is Donald Trump a gay man from 1978?
President Trump is also claiming that a BBC documentary altered his January 6th speech by using AI to change his words. And when you watch it back, it is kind of egregious.
And we fight. We fight like hell.
And we fight for horny MILFs in your area.
A rash has appeared on President Trump's neck, which is just above his collar. Apparently, someone accidentally washed his shirt in holy water. Amazon is planning to donate $1 million to Donald Trump's inauguration. It makes sense because Amazon and Trump both want to ship stuff out as fast as possible. It's the 90s, guys. What is that?
An aviation company is now conducting tests of an all-electric air taxi to fly wealthy customers from Manhattan to JFK Airport, while economy customers can use their slingshot to LaGuardia.
Krispy Kreme revealed that its online ordering system was briefly hacked. Apparently, Krispy Kreme's cybersecurity had a few holes. Something wrong with this mic. A number of education experts are saying that parents of teenagers should teach them porn literacy, particularly stepmothers.
Gastroenterologists are now saying that people can avoid getting hemorrhoids if they just stop sitting on the toilet for a long time while scrolling on their phones. No!
New Jersey officials are warning residents to secure garbage cans as black bears come out of hibernation looking for food. Ah, New Jersey. No one steals our precious garbage.
Tiger Woods was arrested for a DUI after a rollover crash in Florida. Tiger said he was disappointed in himself because he just missed the green.
A new report claims that the next person to leave the Trump administration will be FBI Director Kash Patel. And honestly, Patel seems like he already has one eye out the door.
Disney theme parks have introduced a new lightning lane ticket that allows people to skip lines for almost $500 a person. Nice try, Disney, but I'm sticking with my trusty wheelchair.
Officials are urging New York's governor to send 100 state troopers to Queens to shut down the numerous brothels on Roosevelt Avenue, which begs the question, what's the cross streets?
A Disneyland guest was arrested for stripping off his clothes and walking around nude on It's a Small World, which is the all-time worst answer to the question, so what are you in for?
Authorities in Italy say a statue was damaged after a woman accepted a bachelorette challenge to touch the statue's genitals. She's been charged with statutory rape. Back to you, Colin.
Also, during a Halloween event at the White House, President Biden playfully bit a baby who was dressed as a chicken. And then, moments later, Commander finished the job.
McDonald's is releasing a new Grandma McFlurry, which they say tastes like Grandma's favorite treats that she hid in her purse. It's a combination of butterscotch, crunchy candy pieces, and a big black vibrator. Okay. No, that's sweet.
That's sweet. Police in Nebraska arrested a longtime sex offender known as the Cookie Monster after he was found naked in a boy's bedroom. Luckily, before he could go, nom, 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 nom.
The Department of Homeland Security said they may participate in a new reality show in which immigrants would go through a series of challenges for a chance to become a citizen. It's called The Real Housekeepers of Orange County.
Actor Armie Hammer is launching a new podcast aimed at rehabilitating his image after accusations of cannibalism. So be sure to check out Armie Hammer on Wait, Wait, Don't Eat Me.
Coors Light announced the launch of their first non-alcoholic beer, Coors 0.0%. And I love their new slogan.
Donald Trump frequently calls himself a very stable genius, boasting about it at rallies, in interviews, and across social media. Whenever his intellect or memory is questioned, he doubles down, insisting his brain is top tier.
I'm highly educated. I went to the Wharton School of Finance.
That's the way you learned at the Wharton School of Finance. I mean, that would be the ultimate thing. Now, whether or not that works, but I did suggest.
I went to the Wharton School of Finance. I went to the Wharton School of Finance.
I was a very fine student.
I've also heard I was first in my class at the Wharton School of Finance.
She went to the Wharton School of Finance, and she was always a great student.
If someone wrote a book about you not being mentally fit, and you knew it was all lies, a smart person would ignore the book.
Yesterday morning, Mr. Trump fired back at questions about his mental fitness with this tweet. Throughout my life, my two greatest assets have been mental stability and being like really smart. Not smart, but genius, and a very stable genius at that.
You know, it would be like someone saying, I'm the most tolerant guy out there. Just ask this filthy Armenian. Not only is he like really smart, he's also a genius. And not just any genius, a stable genius, which I guess is Einstein if he owned a comb. He has added himself to the illustrious group of people who have declared themselves extremely smart.
This summer, I did the Minority Executive Training Program at Yale. Guys, I'm like really smart now.
I can handle things. I'm smart. I'm smart. You're dumb. I like everybody says. I am too smart. I am too smart. S-M-R-T. I mean S-M-A-R-T.
But look, the truth is no one wants to be told that they're losing their mind. I can see why it ruined Trump's Camp David sleepover with his GOP BFFs.
Speaking to reporters at Camp David, where he was meeting with Republican congressional leaders this weekend, President Trump lashed out at critics and offered a full-scale defense of his own credentials.
I consider it a work of fiction, and I think it's a disgrace that somebody's able to have something, do something like that.
President Trump is completely capable.
I don't think he's crazy.
No one questions the stability of the president.
I've never questioned his mental fitness. I have no reason to question his mental fitness.
Why would I question it? I already know what the answer is.
As objectively as you can, if such a thing is possible, how have you noticed that America's different now Trump's in power?
Does the Pope shit in the woods?
In what way, though? Like, we see it obviously here from the news.
It's completely mad.
What, on the ground there, do you feel it?
People don't want to admit how mad it is. But Eric and I were on tour, and we went on stage the night after the election. And we get out in front of 2,000 people, and they're sitting there like this. They cannot believe what's happened. And we said it's our duty to cheer you up tonight. They all roared and clapped. But it's completely mad. I mean, the guy says, 3 days ago? He says, I've sent an armada towards North Korea. And then we find 2 days later that it's actually sailing in the opposite direction. And I think that's what people say, except that the Trump supporters are still at about 38, 39%. They still think he's great.
Yeah.
But these are the stupidest people you've ever met. The one I thought was just wonderful. There was a woman on supporting him, and somebody said, what do you feel about that time when he was recorded on the bus saying, if you'll forgive me saying so, that if you're a celebrity, women expect you to grab them or grab their pussy?
Yeah.
And she said he would never have said that if he'd known he was being recorded.
Anybody running for president or vice president should take a cognitive test. So I've taken 3. No president, think of this, has ever taken one.
Kind of a weird flex.
like bragging about being the only kid in school who gets a special helper. This is not a test to see how smart you are. It's to check if your brain is functioning, which Trump should understand based on the questions.
The first question is very easy, and they always show the first question is, you have a lion, a bear, an alligator, and what's another good? A squirrel, okay? Which is the squirrel?
Trump struggling to remember all the animals isn't a surprise. In fact, maybe that should be the cognitive test.
You have a lion, a bear, an alligator, and what's another good? A squirrel, okay? Which is the squirrel? You have a lion, a giraffe, a whale, and a shark.
At this point, I'm not even sure there was even a test. I feel like there's a good chance the president was just watching Zootopia. You know what? Maybe small business owners aren't the best audience for Donald Trump's animal facts. Is there an audience that's closer to his intellectual level?
You should give him a cognitive test. I took 3 of them, aced all of them, by the way. You know, I'm the only president to take a cognitive test, because I don't think Obama could pass it. I don't.
Yet, when attempting to describe a basic cognitive test on national television, he couldn't name 4 simple animals without changing his list 3 times. The test he referenced is the Montreal Cognitive Assessment, a tool medical professionals use to catch early signs of dementia, cognitive decline, or stroke damage. One of its simplest sections requires patients to look at pictures and name the animals. Let's look at Trump's attempts. First try, a lion, a bear, an alligator, and a squirrel. Second try, seconds later, a lion, a giraffe, a whale, and a shark. Third try, a lion, a giraffe, a bear, and a shark. 3 completely different lists for the same basic question, all within half a minute. Desi Lydic highlighted this clip on The Daily Show, noting that Donald Trump treats his IQ like a campaign promise no one is allowed to audit. The studio audience erupted. It exposed a core truth. Trump built his political brand on being the smartest guy in the room, smarter than his opponents, the media, military generals, and scientists. But the moment you watch him struggle to recall 4 consecutive animals, the grand claim collapses under the weight of reality. If you grew up in an era where calling yourself a genius required proof rather than just volume, this footage is deeply telling. The interviewer wasn't asking him to solve advanced equations. She was showing video proof of him struggling with a test designed for medical screening. Following the segment, Trump hit back on Truth Social, blasting the coverage as low-rated, nasty, and fake news. He claimed his mind was perfect, his memory unmatched, and the clip heavily edited. Desi countered the next night with a single devastating line. Donald, if the explanation for your genius needs more editing than the original question, that might be the actual problem. Once again, the audience roared. Desi effectively turned Trump's defense into further evidence. The more he insisted on his brilliance, the more the public visualized him mixing up his animal lists. This brings us to our core mission. If you appreciate coverage that forces claims to answer to reality, subscribe to our channel. We simply play the tape and let the narrative explain itself. Desi's genius wasn't in attacking Trump's intelligence. It was stepping back and letting his own contradictions do the heavy lifting. She placed his grand declaration, "I am a very stable genius," directly alongside the video of him forgetting his own answers. The contrast was undeniable. In one moment, absolute certainty. In the next, an inability to clear a low hurdle without editing himself twice. She framed it perfectly. It was the advertisement meeting the actual product. Once the audience saw the reality, the genius claim stopped looking like strength and started looking like a desperate sales pitch. Naming 4 animals in a row isn't a high-stakes challenge, unless you have spent years proclaiming your unmatched intellect to the world. Desi didn't need to argue. She just highlighted the gap between rhetoric and demonstration. Trump claims a flawless memory. The clip shows him forgetting his own words from 15 seconds prior. Trump claims a towering IQ. The clip shows him repeating a medical screening test 3 times. A sharp mind doesn't demand a parade. It just delivers a complete answer. While Trump has ignored this specific clip since the segment aired, he continues to boast about his intellect elsewhere. But the footage remains online, searchable, and unvarnished. Medical professionals expect patients to answer these screening questions without hesitation. This clip went viral not because Trump failed a medical exam, but because he couldn't accurately recount a test he claimed to have aced. We play the tape. We analyze the patterns. We break them down.